Hi, I'm Dr. Professor Kevin Suber. I have an MBA in financial planning and a PhD in financial management. I teach financial planning, finance courses, business courses, and management courses. I teach at local community colleges and local universities. I'm also currently the department chair of banking and finance.
Hi, Professor. So I have some questions for you as we're teaching youth about investing, negotiations, money management in this workshop called Dollars and Sense. So how do our viewers, our teenagers, how do they already use negotiating skills?
Well, everybody negotiates. We're always negotiating. When you were first born, you would cry and you wanted someone to do something, either change you or actually go ahead and feed you. And so therefore, we are always negotiating. And even today, even if you're only 5 years old, you're still negotiating, because why? You want something. When I was a kid, I wanted Play-Doh. So I would negotiate for Play-Doh saying, Mom, if I go and clean the dishes and I take out the trash, can I have some Play-Doh? And my dad was like, I will give you 25 cents to do that, then you can go buy your own Play-Doh. But Play-Doh was over $1, so I couldn't buy any Play-Doh unless I took out the trash for like a whole month in a row before I could buy my Play-Doh. So therefore, yes, we always negotiate. And one of the key things in negotiation is always doing this and asking, come on, Mom and Dad, you can do better than that. And make sure you say it with a smile and say it nicely. And your mom and dad might actually go ahead and give you something a little bit more than what you asked for.
Great. So that answers how our viewers are already negotiating using a business skill without even realizing it. Getting things that they want, and parents negotiate back. Well, I'll give that to you if you do this. So the negotiating is already happening. So how can our viewers, our teen counselors, begin to be a little more mindful of how they negotiate? What are some things they need to keep in mind when you're negotiating?
Well, when you're negotiating, you want to keep in several different things in mind. Number one is the person you're speaking to. Who is that person? Do they have authority over your life? And what kind of authority do they have? What is their personality type? Are they generally a very friendly person, a very nice person? What can you use about them that you can actually talk to them? For example, if they're very much a person who likes people, then you can say, Mom and Dad or Mom, just think how much more happier the whole family would be if I had that brand new Xbox, because I won't be bothering anybody, because I'll be upstairs in my room playing Xbox while everybody's downstairs doing their thing. So you can use different things like that if you know their personality. If someone's always saying children should be seen and not heard, well, then you could say, well, if you buy me this, I'll be busy, so I won't have to be bothering you guys all the time. So there's different things you can use to negotiate to get what you really want.
So paying attention, so this is basically human behavior and
Yes.
psychology,
Yes.
is being aware. So if you are trying to use the wrong negotiating skill with someone based on their personality type, then you won't get anywhere. So that's
Exactly.
whether it's with even a friend or a boss in their future, you have to know kind of how they handle or approach things before you start negotiating with them. Otherwise, it could backfire.
Right. Let's say, for example, if your mother or your father is an accountant or CPA, and they play with numbers all the time, they might say to you, you want to buy an Xbox? How much is that going to cost? They want to see the dollar numbers and, not just the game, but how much is it going to cost to buy the game and the actual different games that go with that game. Because obviously when you buy a game, it may come with a couple little games that you maybe don't want. You actually want to go buy the baseball Xbox game. I want to buy baseball with my Xbox. I want to buy basketball or football so I can play that on my Xbox. Mm-hmm. So therefore you have to actually bring numbers to that person and say, hey, Mom and Dad, it's going to cost X amount of dollars, and I'm going to go ahead and take out the trash for the next 3 months, and this is what it's going to basically going to work out in far as dollars and cents go. So some people are very dollar and cents, and when they see those numbers, they can go, okay, yes, you deserve it. And
because you thought it through, and you also showed them the strategy for the long-term strategy. Yes. And I know it'll take about 3 months of chores to pay that off,
right.
And you're coming at them in a way they can appreciate. But if
right.
you or just buy it for me, and you're talking to somebody who's dollars and cents, they're very savvy with the numbers,
right.
That probably won't work well.
Right. And usually at your age, when you're very young, usually negotiations works out something very simple. You're going to do something for me, but I need to do something for you.
Right.
Or vice versa. I'll do something for you if you do something for me.
Right.
So that's kind of like the easiest way of looking at negotiations when you're young. Yes.
And so these are skills that will help them in their futures. Why? How will this translate into their careers?
Well, as you get older, you're going to want to buy a car. You're going to want to go to college. And the college you go to will require a lot of negotiations with mom and dad, because mom and dad might want you to go somewhere local, right? And you actually want to go somewhere far away. Maybe you want to live in 4 seasons, or you want to live in a really hot weather climate or a really cold climate. And in order to do that, you need to go away to do that. And then when you get a job, what's going to happen is that the job is going to offer you a very minimum salary, right? Well, they're expecting you to come back and negotiate that salary. And then every single year, they're expecting you to negotiate that salary. Because when we look at the time value money, if inflation is taking place every year and you're not asking for a raise, you're actually getting a pay decrease every year. So learning negotiations is something you're going to need to learn not only for your business life, but also for your personal life and also for your family life. So it's very important to understand negotiations and always continue to learn about negotiations as you get older, because you're going to need it for everything in life. Because someday when you have children, you're going to have to negotiate with them too, just like you're negotiating with your parents. And that'll be a lot of fun.
Exactly. Very well said. Yes, these are skills that they will use, and of course, for me as a therapist, also in their relationships, which is we're always discussing negotiating, and it's communication, and communication is so important.
Absolutely.
So teaching the youth right now to learn while you're young that you are negotiating, you have some negotiating skills, and it's about perfecting those skills, being more aware of what you're doing, how to hone it, how to be aware of who your audience is, who you're negotiating with, what the end result, what your goal is, and to really think it through versus just getting emotional. And that's the same thing. I certainly learned that with buying cars. I had to really research and not be emotional about it, because I needed to stay in control of the numbers and not get emotional about that pretty car.
Right.
And so I learned how to negotiate that. So also there are certain areas that you can then even do more research to, okay, how do I negotiate this? And look up, how do I negotiate a salary? So it's really about asking around, having good mentors, and also being willing to do the research to improve your own negotiating skills.
Absolutely. Because you're negotiating every single day, whether you like it or not. You can't get around it no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Professor. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anytime.